So how I execute each day, well, I don't have a set list of to-dos, right? I go where my energy drives me that day. A day in the life for me follows my framework, my productivity framework, which is HIP, high intensity interval productivity. And the overall structure of my day is divided into phases, which I call the EMT protocol. And so that means that my days are divided into phases to execute, then phases to meet, and then phases to think. So EMT gives me that framework and allows me the freedom to be creative and let my brain ideate and do some amazing things. And so in the executing phase for me, when I wake up, that's when I have the most energy. So that's what I'm focused on doing, executing. So I wake up, I have the same thing for breakfast every day. I work out in the morning, I answer emails, I write code, all the things that I personally need to be executing on. If I'm doing approvals or giving feedback, I like to do those things early in the morning. And then there's the meeting part, right? So around 11 a.m., and I would say, till about 4 or 5. Some days are shorter, some days are longer. I'm in meetings. And this is when I am talking to people, getting status updates, giving status updates, collaborating. But this is the meeting phase. And the way that I structure this is like during the meeting phase, I'm not going to get any work done. I'm not going to execute. So I don't even try. Even if during the meeting phase, I've got a 30-minute break or I've got a couple minutes here or there in between meetings or a meeting ended earlier, my brain has context switched. I am no longer in the execution phase, but I'm in the meeting phase. And because of that, I can show up to meetings and be present in those meetings. I can give fully and I can receive fully, and I can make sure that I am making those meetings as productive as possible. Then after the meeting phase, right, so around 5 p.m. or so is when I go to the thinking phase. That's when I'm starting to wind down the day and I'm ideating and I'm thinking and I'm coming up with ideas and I'm reflecting on what happened in those meetings. And here, I'm not trying to execute. I'm really just trying to think and make plans and strategize and let my brain do its thing. And so dividing my day into those phases gives me a framework and structure so that in those individual phases, there's freedom. So how I execute each day, well, I don't have a set list of to-dos, right? I go where my energy drives me that day. Obviously, there are some days where there are priorities and things have to get done, but the way I execute is I go where my energy is, right? What am I inspired by? What am I drawn to? That's what I focus on in executing. And for the thinking phase, again, what am I inspired by? What am I inspired to do? Where is my mind naturally drawn? I have that freedom. So my high intensity interval productivity framework sort of sets the tone. And as part of that framework, there's the EMT mindset and the EMT methodology, where I divide my day into those phases, and it just makes it so that I'm able to be as productive as possible.